Hello, people. My name is Maya. I've come here to share my own experience with my evil mother-in-law. This is the story of how my mother-in-law got her karma. I hope you enjoy this story and get some ideas on how you can deal with your mother-in-law. My husband Carter and I were all set to have a blissful married life. We loved each other very much and were already pretty set in our lives. While Carter worked as a software engineer, I was a stay-at-home wife. We had this arrangement because Carter earned enough for both of us, so we mutually decided that I wouldn't be working. Instead, I would do all the house chores and eventually be a stay-at-home mom for our kids. My mother-in-law, Joanna, was not happy with this arrangement from the very beginning. She had an extreme dislike for me. She left no chance to throw snide remarks at me and occasionally called me a gold digger. When she found out about our arrangement, she said, "Wait, what? Maya is going to be a stay-at-home wife? So this woman is going to sit around and get fat on your money?" "Mom, it won't be like that. She'll be helping out with other things. I will be in charge of the house chores," Carter replied. "But how could you even talk about me like that?" "You are a stay-at-home wife yourself," I retorted. To that, Joanna had no answer. She simply kept deflecting and said that I didn't deserve to be treated like a princess. Spoiler alert. I wasn't being treated like a princess. I was actually working very hard to take care of the house and keep our family running. Joanna refused to acknowledge it. She just wouldn't stop with her nonsense. I tried to talk to Carter about her behavior, however, he never protested much because his mother wouldn't listen. He always said, "Relax, Maya. You know Mom gets easily jealous. It's normal for her to behave this way. Don't take her words to heart." "It's easy for you to say, Carter. You're not on the receiving end of her insults. I'm getting tired of her. Can you promise to at least keep me away from her?" "Fine. You don't have to interact with her much. That way she won't get a chance to insult you." I was disappointed with Carter's constant disregard for my feelings. However, I understood that it was hard for him to talk down to his mother. I wish he had tried harder. Maybe it would have saved us a lot of trouble in the future. Besides, I thought staying away from Joanna would help me be at peace. Well, my peace lasted for only a year into our marriage. After our first anniversary, I found out that I was pregnant. Both Carter and I were happy, but didn't tell his family before the second trimester. I was having a risky pregnancy, so we wanted to wait before telling everyone. When we finally revealed the news, his family had a mixed reaction. They said, "Congratulations, Carter and Maya. Oh my God, this is such great news. I can't wait to be a grandfather. You two are going to be such great parents." "Thanks, Dad. We're really excited as well," Carter responded. "Carter, this child needs to be taken care of. You say Maya is having a tough pregnancy. I think I should move in with you a month before she is due. That way, I can help her get some rest." My mom also moved in with us when Joanna was pregnant with you. "It does help to have an extra pair of hands. What do you guys think?" his mother suggested. "That's a great idea, actually. I'm sure we'll appreciate the help." "Thank you for offering, Mum. It will be a huge relief to have you around. You can move in with us before our delivery," Carter said. He happily gave his consent to let Joanna live with us for a while, without even consulting me. My husband made this decision right away. However, instead of blaming him, I was mad at Joanna. She purposefully raised the question in front of everyone. She knew Carter wouldn't consult me before answering and wouldn't say no in front of everyone. When we went home, I clearly expressed my concerns to Carter. I was pretty pissed off, but tried to have a normal conversation. "Carter, that was rude of you to invite Joanna without consulting me. You should have given a neutral answer. You know we don't get along, and still, You want to allow her to stay at our house. You need to relax, Maya. Mum will be a great help at the house. The doctor needs you to rest. I don't want you working and stressing too much. Mum will help you out, Carter replied. Your mum will be the one to stress me out, Carter. Why don't you understand that? She won't stress you out, Maya. You're pregnant, so she won't disturb you much. She's not as evil as you think. Just give her a chance. It pains me to say that we fought for months on this issue. Carter wanted his mum in the house to help me out. Meanwhile, I was sure she would cause trouble if she came. We had some pretty big fights about this. Joanna also kept pressuring and brainwashing Carter into accepting her help. In the end, I compromised and allowed her into my home. As promised, she moved in 1 month before the baby arrived. Guys, I am not exaggerating even a little when I say that Toronto became a living nightmare. This woman was actually at the house to make me work for her. Yes, Joanna moved in so that she could make sure I was doing all the work alone. She was constantly on my butt, telling me to stop being lazy. Hell, she didn't let me rest for more than a few minutes. She said, "This is why I wanted to come here. I knew you would use your pregnancy to get out of your responsibilities. Look at you, wasting my son's money and doing nothing. From tomorrow, I should be seeing you cleaning the house and cooking all the meals. Don't expect me to help." But you moved in here to help me. If you don't want to be of any help, then why bother staying here to supervise? I asked. Of course, I know your tricks. You will use your pregnancy to slack off as usual. If you want to be a good mother and wife, you need to do everything on your own, she retorted. You are asking way too much of me, Joanna. You are here to help and not give me more tasks. I'm having a high-risk pregnancy and need to rest a lot. Not working when you are pregnant is no excuse. I can't believe you think you can get away from your responsibilities like that. That's not how it works. Do you expect me to do your job? She sneered. No, Joanna. I don't expect you to do my job. I thought you would help me out a little. That's why you are here. Anyway, you have some nerve, Maya. I'm here for my son and my grandchild. You are not my problem. Till you've had that baby, I will do nothing around this house. This is your job. I don't have a problem with doing certain chores, Joanna. But I can't do everything, especially when you have become an added member. It's simply not possible for me. I don't care. You're not a princess. Lots of women get pregnant and take care of their family as well. I'm not doing your job, and that's final. I guess the whole thing about my risky pregnancy went over her head. She didn't want to compromise, even if I had complications. Joanna wanted to see me suffering. That's what she always wanted in her life. I knew she never liked me, but things became even worse. Joanna stopped doing anything around the house. Instead, she would boss or harass me and make me do things. From morning to night, I was stuck doing work around the house. She never lifted a finger to help. If I refused to do anything, she harassed me and forced me to do it anyway. I was mentally too weak to fight her. Plus, I knew that if I didn't do all the cooking and cleaning, these things wouldn't be done. I would be starving in a dirty house full of garbage, so I did everything. Carter never said anything because Joanna pretended that she helped me out all the time. I reached my breaking point one night. Joanna told me and Carter that she would call her friends for a party. When Carter expressed concerns about overworking me, she told him that she would get catering and do everything herself, so he didn't say anything. However, after Carter went to work, Joanna came up to me and said, "You know that my friends will come over today. You need to cook lunch and snacks for 12 people. They will be here for my informal grandma shower." Are you insane? I cannot work so much. This is ridiculous. How many times do I have to tell you that I'm having a high-risk pregnancy? You told us you were getting the event catered, I protested. Stop whining about yourself, Maya. We have all been mothers. You don't get special treatment for that. I'm not wasting money when you are perfectly capable of doing the job. Now stop wasting time and start working. I want everything to be perfect. So, I was stuck cleaning the house and preparing the meal from the moment Carter left the house. That day, I worked straight for 12 hours because Joanna even made me clean up and wash dishes after the party. Her friends came and enjoyed the fruits of my work. Not one person helped or even congratulated me. By the end of the day, I was so tired that I felt sick. I called my nurse friend to come and check me. Sure enough, she said that I'd worked too much. That's when I knew I had to stand up for myself. So, I called Carter and told him to come home early from work. I sounded exhausted, and Carter was immediately alarmed. Just when Carter texted me that he was near, I decided to start confronting Joanna. I said, "Do you have any idea what time has passed? I was so tired and almost got sick. My baby could have been hurt." "Stop whining, you little witch. Don't think I will worship you because you are pregnant. You deserve to be treated like this." "What have I ever done to you? You have never been nice to me. Don't act like you don't know anything. You plan to steal my son so you can live like a queen. Guess what? It will never happen. I'll make sure you know your place." "Seriously, Joanna, what is my place? Being the servant of my family?" "Of course. You deserve to be treated like this. I purposefully didn't get catering so I could make you work for my little party. From now on, you should watch your place and show me respect. You made me work 12 hours just for a power play. You are a sick and disgusting human being. Don't talk to me like that. I'll make you work as long as I am here. You deserve this treatment since you signed up to be my daughter-in-law. Just wait till I invite more people next week and make you work even more. Maybe then you will learn your lesson for being lazy." Joanna went on spewing venom at me. I was even shocked by the fact she considered me a servant for her. However, I also knew that my sweet revenge was coming, as I had planned. Carter had walked through the front door minutes ago and heard most of the conversation. I could see him while Joanna couldn't. When Carter finally spoke, she was shocked. He said, "Mom, what the hell is going on here? You made Maya work like a servant for your party? Why on earth would you do that? Carter, son, when did you come home?" "Well, there was no party here. Maya's just making things up. She's pretty hormonal, you know." "Thank God I'm here to help her." "You clearly said you made her work." "My pregnant wife worked for 12 hours to serve your guests. What made you think it was okay? You said you were getting catering to cook for your party." "She didn't get any catering for her party, Carter. She made me do everything." "You can call her friends and ask." "Look, Carter, it was just some small work. She shouldn't be lounging around in the house doing nothing. She's been lazy and useless. You have to understand I did it for her good. Stop it, Mum. I've already had enough of your nonsense. You don't get to come here and decide what my wife should do. Hell, you had Grandma look after you when you were pregnant. You never lifted a finger back then." "Carter, that was different. Maya is a lazy woman. She needs to work for her family. You can't expect her to lounge around while I slave myself for her. She's already getting fat from sitting around. It would help her to lose some weight." "That's it, Mum. Get out of the house. I won't let you near my family again. You'll be banned from seeing our child, and we will go no contact with you." No, listen to me. You're overreacting. This witch Maya has you misunderstanding things. Don't let her destroy our relationship, Carter. Don't do this, please." Joanna kept begging and pleading with Carter to hear her out. She was shaking and going pale, and it felt like she was having a stroke. Carter simply turned around, walked into her room, and started packing her bags. Joanna tried to stop him. He didn't listen. I didn't even have to do or say anything else. I simply enjoyed the show. Occasionally, Joanna would look at me and throw insults at me. However, Carter shut it down every time and in turn started to berate her. Soon, Joanna was kicked out of the house with her bags. Carter called Rob to come and take her home. Rob was absolutely appalled by what Joanna had done. He came to our house and took away Joanna, who was still sobbing and screaming at us. We remained unfazed. When they finally left, Carter broke down and apologized to me. He said, "I'm so sorry for putting you through this. I had no idea she would betray me like that. If I had known, I wouldn't have allowed her here. Please forgive me." "It's not your fault, Carter. She did this." "No. I should have listened to you before I brought her here, even after you said no. This is my fault." "Carter, you thought she would help me out. I know she manipulated you into this. I was there when it happened." I didn't hold any grudge toward Carter. I knew that it was hard for him to imagine that his mom would be so cruel. He did apologize a lot and actively set boundaries with Joanna. Since Joanna was already blowing up his phone, the first thing he did was block her. I never blocked Joanna. She kept calling me names and wishing me harm. I kept all the texts and showed Carter from time to time. I didn't want to leave any space for her to be back in our lives. Carter saw everything and was adamant to protect me and our child. He also forwarded the texts to his dad. Things got a little crazy when I was in the hospital for delivery. Joanna showed up and tried to force herself into the delivery room. We had alerted the staff about not allowing her, so they were ready. Apparently, she made a huge scene and was promptly kicked out by security. Rob was allowed to visit us, so he actually got to meet the baby. I gave birth to a healthy baby boy, and currently we are doing pretty well. Around the time I brought my son home, I ended up blocking Joanna from my phone. Rob showed up at our house a few days later. He looked distraught, and we were worried about him. When he came in and sat down, he said, "I came here to talk to you guys. There's something important you should know." "What is it, Dad?" "Tell us immediately. You look distraught." "I decided to divorce your mother. I am done with her. After everything that's been happening, I don't think I can stay with her." "Are you sure about this, Rob?" "I mean, she is a bad mother-in-law, but that doesn't mean you should divorce her." I thought about it a lot, Maya. Joanna has always been this way. She has been super selfish all along. We had many fights about her behavior. She has been escalating her behavior recently, and it hasn't been sitting well with me. If you think it's better this way, then so be it. I will support you no matter what. I'm done with Mum anyway. There is no way she's coming near our family again. We supported Rob and offered him a place at our house. He refused, but said he would visit daily to help us out and check on the baby. Rob did end up separating from Joanna. She went absolutely ballistic and showed up at our house to shout at me. She never got inside but stayed on the porch and shouted threats at me. We called the police on her and filed a restraining order. Having a newborn was exhausting, and we simply didn't have the energy to deal with Joanna anymore. Since the whole incident, it has been several months. Joanna and Rob have almost finalized their divorce. Joanna is still being salty about everything, so the divorce proceedings are taking time. It turns out Rob owns their house and she can't claim it due to a prenup. She did try to show up at Carter's work and begged him for a place to stay. Carter simply called security and told them to escort her out. It turns out Rob gave her a month's notice for eviction. She thought he was bluffing. So when she was finally about to be kicked out, she went to Carter for help. I guess she was counting on Carter to look after her. Thankfully, my husband grew a shiny spine and didn't bend to her demands. Joanna even dared to show up at our house when Carter wasn't there. She came to the door and said, "Maya, please, I know you can hear me. Please help me reconcile with my son. He isn't ready to hear me out. I will be becoming homeless very soon. I need your help. You have some nerve showing up at our house. I will never forgive you, Joanna." "You're just getting your karma. There is no use begging me." "Nah, just forgive me this time. I'm sure Carter will forgive me if you do. I need your help." I stopped listening after that. When Joanna didn't stop babbling about forgiveness, I told her to leave or I would call the police. That made her leave reluctantly. We haven't heard or even seen her since then. Carter and I are pretty happy with our new family. Kids do grow up fast, and my little guy is flourishing. Carter does get sad thinking about Joanna, but he still has no intention of contacting her. Joanna is still her miserable self with the added stress of being divorced and homeless very soon. I must say that I don't miss her at all. My little man has been keeping me busy, so I rarely have time to think about her. Hopefully Rob will divorce her soon, and Joanna will be out of our lives for good.